And a big welcome back to Everyman Driver. I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks so much for watching. This week I'm on special assignment in my hometown of Portland, Oregon to do a first drive and review of the 2014 Volkswagen Passat. All right, Gerald, we're in the 2014 Volkswagen Passat SEL?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, what's new for 2014 in this vehicle?
The big change for 2014 for Passat is the new engine.
Okay.
We've replaced the 2.5 liter 5-cylinder motor with a more efficient, more powerful 1.8 liter turbo 4-cylinder. 180 horsepower, which is the same as the 2.5 liter it replaces, but we have an increase in torque up to about 184 pound-feet, which is about 6 pound-feet improvement over the outgoing model.
How do you do that? How do you make a smaller engine but same horsepower?
The big difference between the two engines obviously is the turbocharger.
Okay.
With a smaller displacement engine with turbo, it gives us a lot of flexibility to be able to tune the motor to not only perform in a more efficient manner. So actually there's a 4 mile per gallon improvement in fuel economy, but also in terms of power. We have a broader torque band starting very low in the rev range and going all the way to red line. In addition to that, we have, again, like I mentioned, more torque, which gives you more off-the-line response and performance.
As far as the interior over last year's model, pretty much what you can expect from last year's?
Absolutely, yeah. The Passat was all new just a year or two ago. Okay. So 2014, you know, we didn't make any significant improvements to the interior. It's already a very, very solid interior to begin with. And you know, we've had great feedback from consumers about the quality, the refinement that's available with the Passat. So that's we kept that for 2014.
Pretty simple and straightforward navigation system.
Absolutely.
A lot of buttons here, but they don't really seem like they're too busy to me. Not a lot of turn knobs and such.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the key things that our engineers focus on when it comes to the interior is to make it refined but efficient. Okay. And with the infotainment system and the navigation that you reference, again, it's very straightforward, very clear. We don't want to leave any question to what something's supposed to do. And that's exactly what it was designed to do. Very clean. It's a very clean look. Absolutely. Yes, very clean, very refined. Again, very, very efficient. Everything is where it's supposed to be. It's very clear as a driver. The ramp-up time, or the amount of time that you need to learn the car, should be pretty instantaneous. You should be able to jump in, look around, and figure out where everything is, and that was the idea. How many trim levels for the Passat? On the spot, here we go. Let's see here. SEL, we're in that. I'm sorry, I have to count them. So we have an S, an SE, and an SEL. So 3 trim levels. Okay, yeah. And we're in the... And actually, I'll sorry to interrupt, but to jump in, we actually also added a Passat Sport to the lineup, which is based on the S model, and it's essentially a more sporty model. So it has larger wheels, it has unique exterior color features, it has unique trim enhancements on the inside for the more fun, sporty consumer looking at the Passat. Talk about consumers. Who is the target for this vehicle? Sure. You know, it's a mid-size mid-size sedan, 4-door. So I can see that, you know, that middle of the group family that has a couple of kids, or, you know, adults even. Right, exactly. You know, the Passat, you know, again, as I mentioned, was redesigned specifically for the U.S. market a few years ago. And there are a couple of things in mind. Number one, functionality. We wanted to make sure that that the folks that buy this car, which by and large are people who carry people quite a bit, you know, folks with families, had the space on the inside, whether it be the front passengers or the rear passengers, also had space in the trunk. So if you look at the trunk space, class-leading trunk space, class-leading in rear seat legroom. I mean, if you've sat in back there, you've known that there's plenty of space. Well, here's exactly what Daryl was talking about in terms of legroom and headroom here in the back seat of the Passat, and this is incredible. Look how much room I have between my knees in the back of the driver's seat. This was my position as a driver. I'm 5'11", and this is
incredible. I love it. And this is actually a really comfortable back seat. Headroom is right where it should be. I wish it had a little bit more headroom, but I think it's adequate. It's probably right on par with what people can expect in a mid-size sedan. Extremely comfortable. 4 blank handles all the way around. I mentioned they have the sunroof there. Creates more illusion of space. I do like this light beige interior. Plenty of space here in the door for some storage, cup holders, storage behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat. This is a really nice interior. I think it's a good quality buy and something people should take a look at and see in person.
And beyond that, there's a number of different options from engines. We have the 1.8 turbo. We have the 2-liter turbocharged TDI clean diesel engine. We have a V6 model for those that want V6. So we wanted to make sure that this was the ideal family hauler, but also mixed it up a bit for folks that may want to use it for other purposes, whether it be for business or whether it be for pleasure, whatever the case may be.
I do like how comfortable this feels in here. Very spacious, even though I'd almost say this is on the verge of being a full size, just because it feels that way.
Absolutely.
Inside. I know a little bit of the sunroof helps with the openness. Gas mileage, that's improved, you said, like by 4 miles per gallon?
That's right, 34 miles per gallon on the highway for the Passat with the 1.8 turbo. And really the big story for us from a fuel economy standpoint is the diesel.
Yeah.
The clean diesel achieves 43 miles per gallon on the highway, but in addition to that, is able to drive up to 795 miles on a single tank of fuel, which is like going from Seattle to Portland several times, and not having to refuel.
I could say it, and I want more time with it before I give my ride and handling impressions. But what's the company line on ride and handling, suspension, and how it's supposed to drive?
Well, if like all of our products in the lineup, the Passat is designed to drive like a Volkswagen. So feel very confident on the road, very precise steering, very confident handling. Despite the fact that it is a sedan and a more family-focused product, it still handles like a performance-oriented Volkswagen product. That's one thing as a brand, that every product that you drive, that's our goal, is that you drive it and it will get you from point A to point B. It will do so in an efficient manner. There's power and performance, and it handles whether you're driving in city streets or where you're driving in the mountain roads. It still handles with confidence.
So what are they looking for every year when they want to make a little bit of a change? Obviously, it's the engine, this one for 2014.
Sure.
So everything else stayed pretty much the same. What would they have to do? Where do they get their feedback from on why they might make a change? Is it all customer feedback? Is it, let's just change things up because we want to be relevant?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. For 2014 with Passat, I mentioned we added the Passat Sport. That was based on a product plan, but it was also based on feedback for those consumers that wanted something a little bit more sporty. We added the 1.8 liter turbo engine. That was for a number of reasons. One, to improve efficiency. The 2.5 liter was an engine that we had in lineup for a number of years, but it was time to make an enhancement. So we replaced it with the 1.8 turbo with more power and better fuel efficiency. We also added things like rear view camera to the Passat, which is a customer convenience.
Exterior styling, though, some companies are becoming like every other brand. And I know let's say talk about the SUV market. Oh my goodness, everything looks the same. In a certain, I don't want to name names, but there's a lot of, everything's conforming to one look. Although I still see a Passat, and I recognize that's a Passat.
Absolutely.
What the goal of trying to maintain the identity of Volkswagen?
Absolutely. That's something that you'll see in all of our products. I mean, and you pretty much touched on it, is that it looks like a Passat, it looks like a Volkswagen. From a design standpoint, we are very committed to ensuring that our brand identity comes through in the design of the car and in the overall performance of the car, in addition to the refinement on the inside and things of that nature. So you're absolutely right. I mean, there's certain design elements like the front grille or signature design cues on the sides of the car. You know, the way that you know, the headlights are designed. You'll see in the future there's different types of daytime running light features that we are starting to incorporate across the line. You know, from the Jetta through the CC, that again quickly allow consumers to identify that it's a Volkswagen driving down the street. So you know, brand identification and being able to ensure that consumers know that they're in a Volkswagen, whether they're inside or outside looking at it, is important.
I will have a detailed driving review on the Volkswagen Passat coming soon right here on Everyman Driver. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks for watching.